Wow. Wow. Okay. So they are selling this Apple. I wonder. 93.07 on Apple. $93.07 against 43 cents. Let's see if we can get that. Apple continues to lows. Amazon on lows. Not getting the bounce to get the fill. Just a wall here. Look at this block. ES starting to make its way down. We're still in the pre-market range. We haven't done anything outside of the pre-market range yet. Amazon cracks lows. 145 is the next low a day. I'm wondering if I need to get down to 14 cents. Wonder if I need to go down here against like 60 cents or 65 cents. Apple coming in as well. It's interesting because the high ticker is just going quicker, but all the like there's oil and industrials on the highs, but all the tech stuff's going to lows. So kind of a discord of congruency there. Here's Microsoft hitting 370 lows, 369 next low a day. Microsoft coming in again. I don't see any spot to try to attempt that. Coin popping back up to highs yet, being its usual coiny self. Apple. Amazon with a pop into the 80s. Now, if I wanted to be aggressive, I would come down to 10 cents. I'm going to stay up at 30. I don't trust. 80s. 90s. And all the way back down. '80s. And we're having an internal dialogue with myself about whether or not I should be more aggressive and move this entry down to maybe like 46 teens, somewhere around this cluster that we can see here. I'm on the other side of it. I'm up here because I'm trying to be more conservative. I think there's a chance of a spike that could be really hard to hold through. So I want to see if it interacts with this area that it's kind of approaching right now. It's, what, 15 cents away? And then if we can spike past that as well. Let's look at Apple. Also starting to pop back up. And on this Apple, I'm looking at this area here for a potential fill up above the hole. And it's got 30, 40 cents to go, as does Amazon, which came up to 46, and large offer looks like it went off up here. Just sitting and waiting patiently, fighting for my prices. Amazon's above the hole. So this area right here would be the neutral / slightly aggressive entry. It would be right here. And I'm looking to wait more. I'm looking to wait for the squeeze of this area. So right there would have been the aggressive entry. That would have likely gotten filled had I gone that route. Can we get another squeeze higher? And Apple into the 80s. ES bounced off of pre-market lows and is starting to make its way into the middle of the range. I wonder if it'll go look for highs. Here's Apple into the 80s. There's Apple touching 90. I wonder if Amazon can get into the 20s. It's almost there. Very close. Did not get it there. What did it get up to? 18 cents and 17 cents. Wonder if it can get above 17, 18 cents this time. Yes, starting to perk up. Apple in the 90s. There's 17, 18 cents on Amazon. Getting very close. Fighting for these prices. It's tough to know when you should get more aggressive and come down versus when you should sit tight and wait. I am sitting tight and waiting because I think there is a pretty high chance that we will come up and touch that area just to squeeze this area and explore what's sitting up there in the book. Here's the 20s. Where am I at? 33, so I'm 9 cents away now. Let's look back at Apple. Apple getting close, but not close enough yet to that above the 93 spot. It's close though. Actually, it's only, what, 10 cents away now, 11 cents away. Apple just pennies away from my offer now. And Amazon came off of there. I'm still doing the estimations of the probabilities in my head of, given everything here, can we get up into these 30s? I'm going to leave it up there. And there's my 7 cent. I'm 1 penny away from getting filled in Apple. And I did get it there. I am short Apple now, 7 cent average. My stop in Apple is up at 44 cents, short at 7 cents. First stop is Lowe's, and then that 91, where is it? Down there. Down there. So got that going, and then this Amazon popping back up into the 20s here. So let's see. I'm only 10 cents away from getting a fill on this. Can we pop quickly up into the 30s? Look at that big bid there on Amazon. Can we get up? Yeah, tough to know. Should you chase down or not? And my gut is just telling me don't chase down. Wait for it up here on this Amazon. Don't go chasing this thing lower. We'll see at the end of the day if that was the correct decision or not. Clearly it's having trouble getting up above the 20s, and it's not really making headway up there. So one school of thought would say, come down and try to get filled down there. But I'm trying to fight for these prices so that I don't get squeezed, so I can get some size on. Apple isn't really working yet, which has me somewhat on guard that maybe this wasn't a good entry level like I thought it was, leaning up against this. Gonna hang tight with it. And Apple drops 93. That wasn't really what I was looking for on the Amazon side, which also dropped out. And right now on Amazon, it sure looks like I just sat there waiting for it to pop another 10 cents and I just missed it. That definitely looks like the play. Here's this Apple coming in. It dropped out to the 70s and then popped right back up. Gonna put one out at 61, kind of near lows. See if we can get a fill on that. And I'll put, just in case, something down near, down near there. Yeah, I may have missed this Amazon. We'll see. Apple contesting with these two guys, these two nodes here. Although now it's popping back up into the 90s. I don't think I'm going to get this Amazon. I don't think I'm going to get this Amazon. And Amazon coming into the 70s now. Yeah, I mean, I had it there, didn't I? It was right at 17, 18 cents. It retested that area multiple times. I had multiple opportunities to get into that trade. I was just looking for a slightly more conservative entry. This time that did not work. I missed it, it looks like. So that happens, especially when you're fighting for prices but not willing to chase and move it down. That happens. Here's Apple coming into the 70s. Let's see if we can get a move down into the 60s where I will cover my risk. I'm down at 61 cents to cover risk. That's the second time we went down to the 70s and did not pop through. Back up to the 90s again. The other thing is if this Amazon starts really working, there might be another opportunity that shows itself. I'm going to go ahead and cancel my Amazon. Actually, what I'm going to do is say, what was I, 33 cents? Would have filled, and then I'm going to cancel these. And here comes Apple into the 60s. I'm down at 61 cents right here. Got it there as we get a flush straight down. And here we come down into the 40s as well on Apple. And where was that? I think I was down at 39 cents to get another one off. Somewhere right around here is my bid to get in. Right there I am. Did not get it down there. Got it right there. So Apple continuing to move lower here as this trade plays out. And there goes the market. And I'm going to set a Hail Mary down here. I was looking for the 91 somethings. So I'm going to set like a 91.81, see if we can get down there. And Amazon, look at how beautiful that play. Wow, just gorgeous on Amazon. Is this selling in Apple going to be persistent? Are we going to continue to sell off here, or is this pretty much it? I'd like to see a test at 92. The other thing is if we get back up to these 90s, I want to reload. So I'm actually going to do that. If we get back up to 90s, I'm going to reload. There's Microsoft on lows. I'm going to put Apple over here. Microsoft on lows. I'm going to set 368 as the low a day on Microsoft. Let's look what else. Is Coin doing anything? No, not yet. Is Meta doing anything? Yes, Meta is dropping out. 317 low a day. Let's go look at Microsoft. Let's look at AMD. AMD came in. Let's look at Google. Google also came in. And Tesla also coming in. Yeah. That Amazon, that was something. It's almost 10:30. So down in the mid 191s is a large area that we could potentially get to. So I'm trying to keep a third of that smallish position that I had to hold down to there as an exercise of holding for zone to zone move. I already covered my risk. It's going to be a matter of will this continue? Will the seller continue to press? And look at the ES as well. Cracked its pre-market lows and is now working down here in this bottom side of the range. And are there any opportunities in Amazon? No, Amazon actually ended up reaching, yeah, look at that. There's that 145 area that I was looking for. So that was the trade that I was looking for on the Amazon. Really, really nice continuation play. So I'm going to need to go back and review how I could have handled that spot better because I did not find a way in. Let me reset the scaling here on this. And Apple just doing its thing. Gonna modify this cover to go down further, down into that area that I'm looking for. Again, if we get a pop back up to here, I'm gonna reload on this Apple. Wonder if there's a similar chance to reload. No, I don't like it as much on Amazon because it already reached its level that I was looking for the trade. Like the Amazon trade appears to be over, whereas the Apple trade is still just breathing in its rotations, if you will. It's just trading. It does feel like there is a passive seller in here, though. It's just heavy over just since the open. Now, Apple got down to 20 cents, 92.20. If the seller comes in and starts pressing and doing just dumping the rest of their order, if that happens, I need to watch the tape carefully to see if there's some kind of bottom exhaustion happening as they empty the rest of their order out onto the market. I don't want a situation where I'm bidding down here, but it dumps and stops right there, a penny above, and I dunk it out. That's not what I want. So ES starting to climb back up into pre-market range. Could just be a chop fest. And maybe reloading here is a mistake. Because I'm not reloading up here, I'm reloading down here. That's where I'm looking to reload, kind of against this node and this node. Looking for a retest of there. So we were at 20 cents lows, now we're up in the 50s. Let's see if we can pop up to the hole, reload our size, and then make a trip back down. Just letting this play out here. And Amazon popping back up. I just don't like that play as much. I don't like the reload here. Because I think this is run. That's that the trade is over. Let's first of all jump to a 5-minute on this chart. Let's jump to a 5-minute and let's look Tesla, AMD, Google kind of holding down here. Microsoft, let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft selling off. I don't see a place where Microsoft's going. Apple is over there. Meta. Amazon we already saw, and Coin just never broke. Still holding up on that support line that's right there. Just never broke down. Another thought on this is if we don't get back up here to reload up here and we start to base down here, there might be an opportunity to get size on for tighter risk down here lower and increase the size, as my conviction in the play down to 9150s is increasing. Okay, here's a pop into the 60s briefly on Apple. Very quiet, tight market here today. Spacing down here at lows. Big pop, looked like algos just came in. Saw it happen across several different symbols. Saw it on this ticker and saw the tape on both of these just jump at the same exact time as the futures started jumping. So likely algos doing that, and you know, participating in major components of the S&P 500 or whatever. There's different strategies for that across the larger firms, but we'll see if this Apple can actually pop back up into that zone or if it's going to be held down. Back down to the 40s. Yeah, there's a seller in here. There's a seller in here, and they are doing a very good job at not pushing the market down while getting rid of their supply. It's not reckless selling. But with these types of sellers, these types of institutional sellers, there's still more to sell. I don't think they're done. And the key is to hang on until they get to that last phase where they're like, okay, screw it. I'm just going to dump the rest of this order at market and take that easy money from their impatience as they move the market for me. Like, we haven't even been able to get above 60 cents in the last, I don't even know how long. Google hitting lows. Let's go look. Yep, Google's on lows. 131, low day. Let's go see what a run at against 20 looks like. If that's going to happen. And with the time of day approaching and me needing to get to work, I'm less and less inclined to take this this ad up here at 90 cents. Although, I'm just going to sit tight for now. Google, let's look at everything else. Tesla, AMD. So Tesla in its pre-market range, AMD in its pre-market range. Google dropped its lows. Don't really see if that's got anywhere to go. Microsoft hanging out near lows. Also don't see where that's going. Meta, pre-market range. Amazon just holding down here below lows. Already ran its course. And then Coin, which is just holding up above the support. And yeah, this Apple's just sitting here. And this is starting to become a candidate for potentially putting on more size down here in this area near this node, but I'm not sure I have the appetite for that right now. You'd have to keep it really tight. Like maybe try to put it on at the upper end of this bell curve, maybe around 59, 58 cents. And then that's a tight stop. You don't want it so tight that a small little whip above will knock you out. But, and it's just, I don't know if it's worth the messing around with it. Lots of waiting. Lots of waiting for what is a very small position right now. Not even sure if this is worth recording. It's just me rambling on, but it's going to turn into a really long video. But right now I just got to sit tight and let the seller prove themselves if they're gonna. Are they going to press here? Are they going to start selling down into the 30s? What's the urgency of the seller? Do they have a deadline? Do they have a lunch date that they need to make? Got a little pop there. What did coin do? Coin popped. Oh, we're into the 60s. This is the first time we got into the 60s in what feels like a long while. 15 minutes, I think. So if you wanted to add size in this node, this would be the spot right here to be adding size with a very tight stop. I'm not going to do that. If I'm going to add size, I want it to be up here on the first retest of this area up here. I just think that's a higher probability. The win percentage on that is higher than adding it down here, in my opinion, but also the likelihood of getting filled up here is much lower. So higher win percentage, potentially, but lower probability of getting filled. I'm just sitting tight here. Should turn that into a drinking game every time I hear myself say I'm sitting tight. I should, as I'm reviewing this tonight, this trade tonight, I should take a shot. I'll be obliterated in the first few minutes. Speaking about tight, look at the ES just sitting pinned to this pre-market low here on the ES, just pinned. I'm not sure if it's getting caught on the microphone, but I hope you can all enjoy and hear my child singing ABCs in the other room. If not, then you're missing quite a show. Here's the high end of this range again. And there's the 60s. Mid-60s, getting a little perky. Maybe we can get filled up there in the 90s. 30 cents away. I don't have a low a day set, alert set for Apple. 192.19 low a day. And I don't typically sit in trades this long, but this one just kind of, this is the way it is. About to touch the 70s here. Can we get that little pop? No. So seller let off on their gas pedal for a little bit, let it pop up. Will they let it pop up a little bit more? On the higher time frames, I just love the look of this area right here. It's just screaming for a spot to add up here between these two nodes. If this proves to be the high of this move and we start moving down here, I will draw a trend line, and then on the break of that trend line, I will cover the position if this ends up being the high of this move and we start moving down. If we move higher, then I'm not going to draw that trend line and I'm not going to get out of the position. I'm going to try to add up here closer to 93. What is going on with Disney? I keep seeing Disney on the high ticker. Look at this thing go. Oh, that's not Disney. It's only up 1.5%. It's not up a crazy amount. Yeah, I don't see any news here. Okay. Let's see. Tesla, pre-market range. Google, pre-market range. AMD, pre-market range. Microsoft, basing down here. But really not much going on. And look at the ES starting to roll over. Look at that. Let's see what happens with that. Meta, pre-market range. Amazon. Oh, Amazon got it almost all the way up there again. I, again, don't like that on the... I don't like that. I would not want to take this trade now. I don't like that anymore. I think this has a too high of a chance of jamming higher. But I also don't like the long. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere for me. And then coin. Apple, though, I do like this up here. I do like that spot a lot. Into the 70s. Saw 70 briefly. There's 70s. So now we're what, 20 cents away from a reload. And the first trip up, that's what I wanted to get. Remember, this is my original entry over here. So I'm going to cancel that. Or not cancel that, I'm going to delete that line. Here's the 70s. So we're less than 20 cents away now. On the first retest of that spot, I want to try to put some more size on. Especially with all the tape, how heavy everything was down here. So I'd love to see a pop up here, very quickly pop up into the 90s, and then just as quick drop out, because I don't think there's any buying sustained in here. Twitch to shut down, no, in South Korea. Twitch to shut down streaming platform in South Korea. I don't use Twitch, never used it, but I know it's popular and moneymaker for, gosh, who owns that? Microsoft? Don't remember. Mid-70s here. '80s. We're getting only 10 cents away for a reload. Looking much more likely like we can get some more size on up here. 10 cents away. I'm up at 93 cents. Can we pop a little bit more? Squeeze a little bit more. Ooh, here we go, 3 cents away. Can I get it? Not quite. Was close though. Can they lift a little bit more? One more push. One more push to the 90s, and it drops away. Gosh, what did it get up to? 91 cents, and I'm at 93. I wonder if I should have gone down to 91. That was very close. See if we get to those high 80s again. 80. $82, $83, $84s. Can we pop up to those 90s? $80s. $84s. $85s. 6, 7. Back down to the 70s. And the ES is making its way to lows. I don't think I have a lot of time to put this ad on, so I need to maybe chase it down here to like 85 cents. So I am thinking about that. Thinking about moving that down. Let's see if we get up there. I might put this order change in. Let's see what we get. $84s. Can we get up? Can we get up? Let's watch carefully here. 84s, 85s, 87s. Can it get up to the 90s? 86s, 85s. I'm going to go down to 85. Okay, I got it there. So I did go down to 85 cents to get filled from 93. I did step down a couple of pennies. So now I have added on. My average price now has lowered down to 91 cents, and the stuff that I added on at 85, I am going to probably scalp out a piece of it, but then also try to hold another piece of the core down to this 20 cent area. So if we get a quick move down to like the 50s or something, I might cover half of that just to cover the risk on that, like down at 52 cents, for example. And here we come down into 60. Yeah. Can we come down to the 60s and 50s, cover some of that risk on the ad? Where is this on the higher time frame? That's at 55 cents. Can we get down to the 50s? Here's the 60s. Can we get back down? Mid 60s, can we get down to the 50s and cover that risk? And look where the ES is. Sitting down here. Can the seller start dropping this and working this? It's looking better. Seller punching these bids here. ES getting perky. What is it, 11 a.m. just came? ES jumping around a little bit. Can this Apple start really driving down? I think 50s is a reasonable spot. And then the tough part will be, at least for me, holding that core down to potentially here or managing it. And I will feel better after I cover the risk on this ad down in the 50s. But I need it to drop out more. It's having trouble holding below 65. Here it pops straight back up into the 70s. Had trouble there at 65. What did I want to do? I wanted to draw a trend line if this was going to be our, so there we go. There's that trend line. And I don't want to see it moving north of this trend line now. Can we break down into those 50s? There's just someone sitting here buying everything in the 60s. Will they let go? When will that seller start working? Will this buyer give up at 60 something? There they go. Can we knock that 63 out? Because that 63 has been buying this whole time. Where's the seller? Can they pound that 63? ES approaching lows. Uh, 63 briefly dropped. Can these 60s give up? No. Wow. Wow. Back into the 70s. time stop is starting to run close to empty on this ad, looking for this to start moving down back in towards that low a day. At this point, having less patience for this to sit around these levels now. I'd like to see an offer hold below 60 cents within the next few minutes. Like soonish, like right now. I'd like to see, based on what I'm seeing on the tape here, for this seller to start working. And I don't really want to see a bid above 74 cents at this point. Yeah, that's not what I want to see. As we come up into the 80s. So we're flirting with this downtrend line at this point now. What did Amazon do? Yeah, Amazon not moving lower. And this Apple coming straight back up to the 90s here. And I need to see my time stop very, very close on this. Yes, popping back up into the pre-market range. Yeah, I'm just not liking this. Where's the seller? Where is that seller? Not there right now. Here we come back into the 80s. But I really need to see this candle start coming down in. Need to see this start making it, that seller start working, or I'm going to lighten up. Need to see an offer hold below 80 cents, probably in the next minute or two. That's better. Can we hold down there though? And there the ES just turned around and started to look like it was coming up, and it just completely flipped around and is now starting to look like it's heading down. And here we go into the 70s. Can we get back down into those 60s? And now all of a sudden everything looking weak again. 70s. Can we hold an offer down below? No. Back into the 80s. Not what I was looking for. Okay, I'm going to start lightening up. I'm going to start lightening up. Yeah, I'm going to take 2 off here. I don't like the way that it's going right now. So, 98 cents, I'm flat. If we start moving up there, I'm flat. I'm going to be getting out. Otherwise, I'll leave this on for potentially down there, but I don't like what I'm seeing now. I have to manage the risk. So, and we are popping up into that area there. So, it had its chance to break down. It was not happening. Penny away from flattening this position, heading off to work for the day. "20 seconds from closing this candle as well. And we are closing that candle above. We have broken this downtrend line. And yeah, my stop here is at 98 cents, so just pennies away. And I'm completely okay with closing that out. The ad didn't really work. It started to work, and I thought it was going to go, and then it just didn't. So can't just hold on and be stubborn. Need to react to that. But I still like the position of the ad. I just wish that it would have gone a little bit further. We had it, and there's the stop out. So, and Apple goes up above. I got the hole on that. So that's okay. You know, the ad did not work out the way that I had hoped, but I still think it was a good idea. And that's it for the day. I'm going to head off to work. So that's that.